Welcome in, New England Patriots today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we're going to break down ESPN's new NFL Mock Draft, courtesy of Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay. 3 rounds, all the Patriots picks. We will react to them and show you what Mel and Todd chose for your New England Patriots coming up in just a few moments from right now. Before we get to that, though, this week we are going to do a sub-battle in true Chat Sports fashion to take on some of our fellow AFC rivals here on Patriots Today. Dolphins today in the division. Will Scott and company, they're off to a good start this week with 40 new subs. The Ravens run down at 20 new subs this week, so we got some catching up to do. So if you want the latest news and rumors on your New England Patriots, we are the channel for you. We're getting you ready for the draft with everything you need to know. This is the place to be. So not only do you need to subscribe, that way you can get a daily video of the New England Patriots, but also so we can prove that this is the dominant channel of the dominant team of the AFC. Let's own the rest of them right now. Subscribe today, turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. We'll get started with today's show. So here's how this works from Mel and Todd. They did a 3-round mock draft. They rotated who would make the picks throughout this 3-round mock draft. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go pick by pick for New England of who Mel and Todd selected for the Patriots and give you our thoughts and show you what they had to say about these picks. Now, I'll say this much. The way the draft ended up working out, Todd McShay actually ended up making all 3 picks for the New England Patriots. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with the first pick of the draft for New England at 14 overall. ESPN projects the Patriots selecting Ohio State offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr. with the selection. I got to tell you, Paris Johnson Jr., one of the top tackles in this draft. We've seen several mock drafts over the last few weeks project Paris Johnson Jr. to New England. So this isn't a huge surprise. And we've talked a lot about also over the last few weeks the need at the offensive tackle position for this New England Patriots team. This seems to be a smart pick, one that makes a lot of sense for the Patriots. More from Todd McShay. Man, I thought about tight end. Dalton Kincaid here. Patriots coach Bill Belichick loves 2 tight end sets, and Kincaid would be great with Hunter Henry. But quarterback Mac Jones also needs protection after struggles under pressure last season. And Johnson has the size, power, and awareness to hold down the left tackle. Johnson also is versatile enough to play elsewhere along the line, while Trent Brown is under contract. The numbers this past year for Paris Johnson Jr. Include 2 sacks allowed, no hits on the quarterback, 12 hurries, a run grade of 80.9 to go along with the rest of his solid run grades from PFF, his grades overall, which was an 83, and a pass block grade, pretty good too, at 78.0. So not bad for Paris Johnson Jr. Solid pick for the Patriots here. I know you're tempted to go skill position and even that tight end spot with a guy like Kincaid here, but this is a smart choice with Paris Johnson Jr. No complaints from me. Your chance to be the GM here on Patriots Today. What do you think about the idea of drafting Paris Johnson Jr. at 14 overall? Should the Patriots do it? Do you agree with Todd's choice here? If you do, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Get that comment section, elaborate a little further. Why you like the pick, why you don't like the pick. Tell me what you think of the idea of drafting Paris Johnson Jr. in the comment section below. Next up, we go to 46 overall. That is where we find Miami corner Tyrique Stevenson headed to New England with this second-round selection. And we know the Patriots need help at that corner position, and they find a very good fit here, I think, with this second-round pick. Here's more from Todd. The Patriots re-signed Jonathan Jones, and their pass defense was pretty strong last season, but the cornerback room needs depth. Adding speed and physicality outside makes sense on day 2, and it absolutely does, and Tyrique Stevenson does just that. Speed, athleticism, and did a really good job of shutting guys down last year in the ACC. Allowed a completion percentage of just around 43%. Only 353 yards allowed 3 touchdowns, had 7 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. Tyrique Stevenson, this is a good find. In a year that's loaded with the corner position, I think most years a guy like Tyrique Stevenson, you'd be talking about being a first-round pick. But because there's so many good corners here, he slips through the second round. And for the Patriots, I think you're pretty excited to find Stevenson in this position there with this second-round pick. We move ahead to the third round, 76 overall. That is where Todd is projecting the Patriots to take SMU wide receiver Rashee Rice with this pick. And I got to tell you, Rashee Rice, this is a hell of a football player. And you look at this draft when it comes to the receiver position. We know the Patriots are going to have to draft a receiver at some point in time. And the experts I've talked to, they tell me that beyond what you see with Jackson Smith and Jigba at that number 1 receiver spot, the other receivers are all pretty much wide receiver 2 quality. And so if you don't get JSN in that first round, you might as well wait a little bit for that receiver spot. And Rice could be a guy that comes in right away as a sneaky good find that might be just as good as some of those other second-round receivers, and you get him in the third here. This is a smart pick for the Patriots. I like this from Todd here. Here's more from McShay on the pick. Rice dominates over the middle of the field, and I could see him building a nice connection with quarterback Mac Jones as a reliable target. Even after New England signed Juju Smith-Schuster, it wouldn't feel right exiting day 2 of the draft without giving the Pats a wide receiver, and that's exactly it. When you look at the receiver position where the Patriots are at, sure, maybe they take care of offensive tackle or corner first with those first couple of picks, but you can't leave those first 3 rounds without getting a receiver, and Rice could be your guy. Look what he did this past year. I know it was in the American Athletic Conference, but I don't care because it was still very good numbers in that Group of 5 conference there with over 1,300 yards, average 14 yards of reception, 10 touchdowns, 96 catches. That is a lot of catches for Rice there. A good possession receiver. To me, this is a good fit for the Patriots, and it feels like a Bill Belichick receiver. You give Mac Jones another weapon to work with. Bill O'Brien, this new scheme that he's coming in with, to me, that's a win-win for the Patriots. I really like this. I think Todd did a good job with these picks for the Patriots. All 3 take care of needs, and you found really good players of value with all 3 picks. Hard for me not to give this one an A. I like what Todd McShay put together for the Patriots. Grade it for me in the comment section. What do you think of Todd's mock draft here for the Patriots for the first 3 rounds? Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know how you feel about that mock draft and if you think the Patriots are going to end up with one of those guys we talked about today. Subscribe to the channel. We are your Patriots offseason headquarters, getting you ready for the draft here in just a few days from right now. We got you covered. Stay tuned to the channel, and we'll see you next time here on Patriots Today.